Right. Hello. I think I'm live. This is the Fast Track FBA Weekly Live. I'm here to support you, help you out in your Amazon business. And today I'm coming live from Cancun. So I'm just going to check that I'm actually live on my phone. And obviously, if you are, do drop questions down below. Do let me know. So give you 2 seconds. My Bluetooth is going to cut off because I'm just going to change the thing. So 2 seconds. Cool. So if you can hear me, let me know in the comments down below. I'm just trying a different microphone today because hopefully you can get better audio quality. But if you can't hear me, let me know in the comments down below if you're here. So let me just check. And also, if you've got questions, drop it down below, and obviously I can help you out. So 2 seconds. Obviously, I'll let you know what's going on with my business as well. What's going on? Yeah. So I've got myself here. I'm live on YouTube. If I just write hey, cool, and then we know we're live. Is that coming through? We'll wait for that to happen. So that's cool. Yeah, if you've got any questions, do let me know in the comments down below. I'll give you a little bit of an update on my business. Yeah, I can see myself. Me. That's cool. Drop your comments down below, but I'll give you an update on my business. So where are we at the moment? We had last week, we had a real problem around IP complaints in the USA. It's something we've been bombarded. I think we got 5 in 1 week, which was like crazy. Now we've gotten down to 4. So we had 2 already. So we went up to 7. We were at risk, and now we're down to 4, which I'm really, really happy about. And I think, for us, it's just really trying to go that. Also, as well, we were on I think we did 80,000 in revenue. 1 second, drop your questions below, and I will answer them. Just post it down. So drop your questions down below if you are here, or let me know if you're here, where you're calling from. Obviously, if you're just here, so let me know. So we've got, hey, hi, Tom. Hey, fantastic, cool. Obviously, good to meet you, Max. So yeah, let me know. So we're doing about 80K last month in the US. IP complaints were a bit of an issue. Getting back on top of them, really happening. Jeff's been really helpful. fasttrackfba.com/Jeff. He helps us with our IP complaints. What else have we done? I'm going to kind of just bring this down. You also as well, really trying to drive the purchases, which is going to be a very important piece. And that's about driving more sources or improving sourcing, and obviously getting better at that. So that's something we're doing. If you want to know this, I'm in Playa del Carmen at the moment because there's an event I'm going to this week, not Amazon related, just about entrepreneurialism. And I'm going to be, there's just a bit of noise going on in the background. So if you hear stuff, don't worry about that. So I've got a couple of questions coming in. So let's kind of jump over to them because I appreciate I could be here forever talking about me. And there's enough YouTube videos about that. So what questions we've got here? I use Sellerboard. Normally, I always choose min 30% ROI products. At the end of the day, a week, Sellerboard saying my gross profit is 5 to 6%. I don't really get where I make mistakes. Well, don't worry. Sellerboard is telling you what the overall is. I think you need to break it down. First things first, I would look at your individual products. So take one day, for example. Just take a typical day. Look at each of the products sold on that day and look at the ROI on them. Now, what you want to be looking at and what they are. So it might be 2%, might be 25%, 32% or something. So individual items, then you can look at it on an individual basis. And then what Sellerboard is doing is probably accumulating them. So just be careful. Gross profit percentage, and if it's just gross profit percentage, that isn't the same as ROI. They are different. So you're only really looking at your ROI is, and let's be very crystal clear, your ROI is your cost of goods divided by, the profit divided by the cost of goods. So, and your profit should be revenue minus all Amazon selling fees minus the cost of goods. Pretty much, that's going to give you how much gross profit you've generated, and then that will give you, and then divide that by the cost of. So the gross profit divided by the ROI is your actual. Gross profit divided by cost of goods is your true ROI. Now, the thing for you to really think about is that when they give you a percentage on gross profit, it's probably going to be a gross profit margin, which is what percentage of the top line revenue is gross profit, and that stands 5 to 6%. Now that will be a lot lower than what your ROI is. So I would be really careful about that. And I don't think I think you're kind of comparing apples and oranges. So if you're looking at the individual sales and they all kind of look about right, then you're probably reading the P&L from seller board incorrectly. I hope that makes sense. Let me know if it doesn't down below, if there's something I can help you with. And obviously have a quick look while we're on the call now and see if that kind of helps out. I'll be here for the whole hour. So SM, hi from the UK, fantastic. Hey SM, how are you finding the UK market? If you want to know, we've just launched a course, Start Selling in USA as a non-national. So fasttrackfba.com, Start Selling in USA or Amazon USA down the bottom there. That's what we did to, should we say, create the LLC and the whole process behind that. So if you're interested in learning that, it's only £99. It's a great course that I've created, which is just about selling on Amazon USA. And we are seeing better margins. So let us know if that's something you're interested in, or if you can have a look down below. You can even book a call with my team to answer questions. Christian Bell, hi from the Philippines. Great to see you from the Philippines. Thank you for joining. Amit, what is the best way to check our net profit from this product? Should I calculate all numbers without VAT? Yeah, if you're VAT registered, generally speaking, you want to remove all VAT, taxes from the product. So the revenue, remove that, and then the cost of goods, remove that, and then do your calculations off X VAT or net VAT. That's the way you should do it. That's the best way to do it. But yeah, always do the calculations X VAT. That's the whole point. Facebook user, how was your Aztec soup? I love Aztec. If you ever follow me on Facebook or Instagram, personally, I do share quite a lot of my life. So Aztec soup, I love. Really, really good. Got it. It's very Mexican. Love it. Absolutely love it. If you want to know, I'm still in Mexico, but Playa del Carmen over in the Riviera Maya, I think it is, on the east coast. Very beautiful. Just here for the week. Which product costs must be right into the cost tabs of the SaaS program? Product costs without that or with that? I'm gonna hate to say this. SaaS has a Facebook chat. I would probably put it in there and ask the question there. Like, they have a Facebook group. I really recommend joining that and doing it. I think that'd be the most beneficial. I think for us, we put it in with that, and then it takes the VAT off the calculation. So yeah, I think we put it in with that. So I just double check that in the SaaS Facebook group. They have a good community. Good question, Amit. Thank you. Kevin Young, what are your tips for growing an OA business, more VAs and more Amazon loans? Well, I think, look, at the very fundamental level is, I think before you think about it that way, you've got to think, like, what are you trying to achieve? And if I think about it in perspective of, like, what you're trying to achieve is, if you are purely growing revenue numbers, if that's your definition of growing an Amazon business, and it might not be, because it could be that I want a quality of life, or it could be that I want to earn a maximum amount of profit for just me and no staff. I don't want the headache of that. But if you are purely growing revenue numbers, let's go to an extreme. Let's say, for example, you want to do 100 million. I don't think you'd be able to do that. I think it'd be a lot harder to try and do that on your own without staff and a lot of cash. And I'm not saying you need to take Amazon loans. I'm not saying you need to hire VAs, but I'm saying if you're just going to the big numbers, then you're probably going to need, you're probably going to do it. But I think your thing is, like, to first of all define what growing a business is, and then second of all, then you can look at the ways of doing it and ask great questions. Find people who've done that. For me personally, my definition of growing an Amazon business has always been about extracting me, so maximum profitability with least amount of work. And I think the measure of success would be profit per hour worked, if that makes sense. I don't know the exact number, but because I don't really bother measuring it, I don't need to. But if that's the one measure of success of being growth. So how can I do more profit without having to work less? Or maybe I can go from like £100 an hour to £300 an hour by doing extra 2 hours a week. Yeah, fine, I'll do that. So that would be my definition. But generally speaking, if you're just trying to grow top line revenue numbers, it's always a balance between finding more deals, buying those deals, and then shipping, getting them sold quickly and turning the money. That's it. So there's a balance between finding deals, which is generally VAs, but you can use lead sheets and stuff, buying the deals, which is also admin, physically buying them, but also as well the cash to buy, and then it's the logistics and selling it through the Amazon cycle and getting it back again. And so that's a bit more admin. So there's operations as well as VAs and admin notes. So yeah, but if you've followed my journey, yeah, I have a lot of VAs, a lot of Amazon notes. So Graham, hi, to sell on Amazon USA when based in the UK, would I establish an US LLC? Also need to hire an accountant to look after USA tax affairs, any decisions of business out? Yeah, Graham, great question. If you have a look just down below, I put a link, fasttrackfba.com/start selling. Amazon USA. It's a course we've created which does exactly what you were asking. It answers all of that. It's like 20 odd videos, every video like walk through step by step of what I've done. So I'm not a tax professional, so I can't advise like this is what you should do, but I can say what I did. So for me, I have a USA business and we created another, so we have a UK business and we created a USA business. We created an LLC. There's a couple of reasons why. A lot of people who I know who sell from UK LTDs into America, they say that when you're doing like online arbitrage, you just can't, a lot of suppliers will say no, like they don't accept international clients. So that's a real problem. So that's something to really think about there, like international cards. So we want a USA-based card. And then I think in addition to that is to say, also as well, like I want a USA bank account, I want USA cashback credit cards, the rewards, they're really, really good. So we created an LLC, and yes, we do need an accountant for that. And yes, they do the tax affairs, and we have a USA prep center. That's something super important. So that course down below tells you everything. You know, that in the description just coming across now, that tells you everything you need to know. So do check that out. What else have we got here? SM. I've got one restricted product policy violation. Oh, Graham, if there are any other questions, let me know, by the way, down below. But yeah, with that course down below, it's £99. I've got, so SM, I've got one restricted policy violation, even though I have permission to sell the vitamins. Something about missing the ingredients list, but it's already there. Yeah, you can get them retracted. We use a guy called fasttrackfba.com/Jeff. He helps us with things. Now, that will help get retracted, but it won't solve your problem. But I think for you is about really going back through what Amazon's asking you to do and make sure that you're showing them that list. That's super, super important. Like, I would really, really recommend that. So, yeah, I think for you is, the point is to say that something missing. Yeah, you just got to make sure Amazon's got the list and they know what's going on. That's going to be the really important point. So I can't tell you the exact same thing because Amazon's going to have like a million and one things. You just got to go back through that list and say, yes, we've done it. And sometimes you have to keep going back and back and just tweak it slightly. It's the same as IP complaints. We get the same thing. But you can get the restricted policy violation removed. But first of all, I'd probably get make sure the ingredients are all done correctly and try and find out why. Amazon are pretty good at telling you why. Get on the phone call as well. You can actually call Amazon now, request a phone call. It's in that Amazon Health, request a call right now. Right, regarding starting to sell in USA, what is the minimum cost to start selling, all costs included? Great question. I think I kind of did an analysis the other week, and just stay there. Let me have a quick look. I'll pull it up. Then I know we've got it kind of right. I think originally I said quite high, but we kind of brought it down to about $650. So the reason why I say that, and let me just kind of make sure I get it right, is, yeah, we said you need a virtual office address. So in the US, obviously, if you've got a business, you need somewhere registered, and they need to be able to receive mail. So virtual office address are generally about $400 a year. So $400 to set up, and there'll be an additional cost every year you've got to pay. And they'll basically get your mail, scan it in, send it to you. And they'll also give you an EIN number. And then on top of that, you need to get what's known as an ITIN. But we don't need to. We recommend getting one. That's about another $100. You need to use an agent. And then the final one is about $80, say, for example, for a business license. And it says it all in the course. It explains everything, like how we've done it, what we've done, and the costs. So total cost $600. I think that's the answer. Let me know if there's any more questions around that. I'll answer it. Graham, if I establish a US LLC for an Amazon business, I'm UK based, not a USA citizen, is it possible to get a USA credit card to use in the business better than a UK credit card? Yeah, you can. It's not the easiest thing. It's the next challenge after creating the business and trading. So I'll be honest, our business right now, we use a bank account whereby we're trading with a debit card. It's not a credit card, it's a debit card. And we are in the process of trying to get set up is a USA-based credit card. You've got to have, first of all, like an EIN for the business, and then you've got to have an ITIN for you personally, and then you've got to create a business account, and probably you're going to be trading on, like, I forgot what it's called, like a secure credit card, i.e. you put 10,000 into a credit card, and then they'll give you 10,000 of credit versus against that. So you can never spend more money than you've got in the account. And that's something important. So you can, but it just takes a while. You've got to get your credit rating up. and build credit history to be able to do it. That's the one point. And that's if you want to try and it's a lot quicker if you're willing to go in store, like go to Bank of America and do it. That's one option. But you've got to go into the US and do it. So that's a longer way of doing it. There are some other little hacks we're trying to figure out and trying to do. So I'll update you as I go through that and once we've solved the solution or found the solution. But you can get them, but it just takes a while. But on a side note, US-based credit cards are generally better than UK. Why? Cashback and rewards, they're so much better. You're talking about UK, it'd be like 1%, US would be 2%, 50%, 100% increase in your cashback. If you're planning to grow your business, say for example, you're going to spend 100,000 over the course of the year, that's an extra $1,000 in just rewards, which really helps out. And they generally do more, so it's helpful. So AJ, I just had an email saying a refund has been initiated. Where do I find the reason for that refund? It'll probably say it'll give you an order number. So you can search the order number, and then it will say refund. If you want to find the real reason, you have to do something like download your file. You have to go to business, Amazon Seller Central, business reports, and then it might be sales or as a refund. There's there's a report you can download which says reason for refund. If not, you can raise a case in Seller Central and ask them what's the situation. But I think it's a really good question. And I think what's really interesting is I might actually ask my team to do a video on it. Give me 2 seconds. Good. I'll just say, hey, it might be worth a video here. Right, 2 seconds. Cool. Next one. Hey, AJ, made that make sense. Seller Central, business reports. There's a report in there. I'll see if I can log in. Give me 2 seconds. It will tell you the reason. By the way, if you use software like Seller Board, you can fasttrackfba.com/tools. You can see Seller Board. There's a 2-month free trial. Check that out, and obviously they'll just tell you what it is anyway. They kind of amalgamate the reports, but if you want to do it manually, you do have to do it. You do have to do what's it called? You have to go kind of look at the different reports on Amazon Seller Central. Give me 2 seconds. I'm seeing if I can log in, and I'll see if I can find it for you. We'll get there. We'll get there. Right. So yeah, log in. It's reports, business reports. I think it is. Oh no, actually, there's a return report. All returns for the last day. Can I check that? No, it's in progress. Reports, business reports. Nope. No, sorry, it'd be FBA reports. Okay, I'm just going to do custom reports. Nope. Reports, business reports. Oh my God, wrong one. Sorry. Reports fulfillment by Amazon. Someone's going to write in the comments Tom, get it right. There'll be a report under I think it'll be FBA reports, and it'll be return inventory. What's the reason? That's what you're looking at, and I think it's under customer care, FBA custom returns. Yeah, and it's does it say reason? Yeah, there we go. FBA, so FBA reports, and then down the bottom under customer concessions, FBA customer returns, scroll to the right, and you'll see customer returned reason. And it'll say what's going on in the report. So yeah, check that out. That'll be helpful for you. Graham said, what are your thoughts about selling used books using Amazon FBA in the UK and USA sites? Yes, do it. Okay, so top things. UK I can't comment about because I don't know anyone who really does it. But a good friend of mine called Seth, I was out with him last week on Thursday, I think it was. He did over $1 million last year US dollars in sales in Books USA. The one thing which I will say is he does it from a UK LTD. So he has UK LTD selling to the USA. Now, by his own admission, he says half of the online booksellers he buys used books from, he can't buy because they don't accept international credit cards. So even if you are going to, he does really well, but he can only do half the market. So, and by the way, he makes really good profits, great profits. So I think for you is do get the course down below, create an LLC, and then do that. And I did say to him even on the weekend, like, I might be interested in creating that as another revenue stream. I think it'd be fantastic. There's so much opportunity there. So yeah, do look at, I think there's a good opportunity to do that. And I think having a business to do that would be very beneficial as well. Yeah, that's my thoughts. Right, let's kind of go through. I think it's a good and a good market. USA, I would do it, and I wouldn't do it in the UK. I think the US is much bigger, much worth it. John, will this be here replay? I want to learn. Will this here be a replay? Yeah, you can watch it on replay on my YouTube channel, Fast Track FBA. So yeah, you can definitely watch that. Thanks, Tom. I just want to know how much euros I earn for each of this product I sell. Can you give me one example? You're talking about seller board. I'm just going back to your question. So really simple would be like look at VAT on my channel. VAT. There's a really good video that explains about VAT, but in that video we talk about all the costs, like what are the costs, how to do it all, and you can kind of see. So to give an example, you buy something for like, say for example, you sell something for £10. In that £10 is VAT at 20%, which is £8.36 is an ex-VAT cost, but add 20% on top makes it up to £10, and then you buy the goods for £5, for example, which is £4.33, for example. So you got to take the two VATs off, and then you got the cost of goods, and you got the sale price, and then there'll be Amazon fees on top of that, 15% for the referral fee plus 0.3% for the EU tax, and then there's like the FBA fee. So then you take them all off, and then you just get the difference, which is your gross profit. And then you do gross profit divided by the cost of goods, £4.33. That will give you your ROI. I hope that makes sense. But that VAT video will really explain it a lot better for you. And it does it ex-VAT as well. It shows you that. Matthew's son, Tom, if you were starting out now, are there any tools you would use you didn't back then? Thanks. Love your content. Cool. Thanks for the content. Thanks for the question, by the way. Thank you for your time and watching. No, like really is. I'd probably use like the calculator tool. I think I used back then was like FBA multi-tool. I'm quite a big fan of SAS right now. I quite like that. Keeper, 100%. And then Keeper I'd use, SAS I'd use, and then in addition to that, I would use Seller Toolkit. But I'd actually, I always say this: go use Seller Board to start with for 2 months. Just to get the reviews. I didn't do that when I first started. Like how to get seller reviews, because they can get seller reviews feedback, and then go get SAS Seller Toolkit after the 2 months. I like that. I think it's good. And they do inventory reclaims, which is really good in repricing. So yeah, that's the only thing I'd really say. When I check Amazon payment reports, I see Amazon FBA and referral fees. Are these amounts including VAT or without VAT? I think they will show ex-VAT, but at the bottom it will subtotal it including VAT. You can check it, because somewhere it will show the VAT on the payment. You want to go into, like, basically find one individual order, put the order number into Amazon. You can see all the transactions for that one order, and you'll see the number it says FBA, and then you can add them all up: the FBA, the referral fee, cash amount, times it by 0.2, which is 20%, and if that equals the VAT down the bottom, fantastic. If it doesn't, then you know it's got that in it. So I think they're ex-VAT they're showing there. Don't quote me. Actually, I'll see if I can just tell you. I can just go find an order. Let's go find an order. Amazon FBA reports. Just find Amazon sales. What can let's see if I can just type one in. Amazon actual report. Bing, bang, bosh. No, that's not right. Order details. Yeah, it does. Just type any old order number into the Amazon search bar on the top, and it will tell you price, ex-VAT, including VAT, and you can actually see what's going on with the product. So you can see what's kind of happening. Yeah, it will show you the product's ex-VAT and in-VAT. Okay, that makes sense. SM, I've just got one restricted policy violation, even though I have permission to sell that vitamin. It says I'm missing an ingredient list. I think we've already done that one. Would you appeal it? Yes, 100%. Appeal everything. The order of payment will tell me that under the product charges, there's a promo rebates. Amazon sent one product for free. Do you know why Amazon's sending promotion product for free from my inventory? I would ask Seller Central. Like, send us. You could say raise a case to Amazon seller support, but promo rebates. So okay, slow down. Promo rebates are generally there's a shipping cost, and then they've given them a discount on the shipping cost or the shipping for free. So what it is? Let's say, for example, I want to sell my phone for £20. It will say product price £20 plus shipping £5, promo rebates £5. So basically what they're doing is they're adding a cost on and taking it off. So it doesn't really make a difference. That's most of the time what you're going to see. It's for non-FBA users, non-prime shipping. The other one is when you talk about products for free, I'd probably just have a look at what's actually happening on a high level, because a lot of the time it might be like there could be a promo or something. But if you're like, I don't understand why this is free, raise a case and ask. You might have set a setting where it's like 2 for 1 or something. I don't know. You should, but you wouldn't do that by accident. You've got to make an effort. But it could be free. The fact that the customers, like, there's been a problem, they've refunded the money, so effectively they've got it for free. I'd raise a case with Seller Central without looking at it. It's quite. I could be here forever suggesting stuff. Last month's sales are 3,400. Fantastic, good man. And gross profit 299. Don't think it's really low. Yeah, you're running at 10%, or you're doing gross profit at 10%. Yeah, I think you want to be at least doing minimum net profit at that level of 10%. So you're going to have other costs coming at that 295. If you're going to ask me, I think probably you're selling your products too cheap. That would be the core one. I think you talked about earlier looking at 30% ROI. I mean, if I'm going to do some quick maths, 3,400, buy for 10, sell for 20, which means you should have done 3,400. Get my calculator out. 3,400 divided by 2, which means you spent 1,700 on stock. If you're doing a 30% ROI, multiplied by 0.3, means I'd probably be expecting you to get out 510 gross profit. But you didn't. You got 295. So it seems like maybe your ROI is a bit low. Like you're selling a bit too low, based off what you're telling me. I think that is low, especially for the level. The revenues aren't as high. Like you could probably get more profit out of that. Kevin Young, are we growing OA business? Do you want to do it with 50k revenue a month, expecting? I want to do it. Sorry, 50k revenue a month, expecting 15 to 20k this month with one VA, soon to be 2. Took an Amazon loan. Should I do anything different or reinvest and get there in the future? I think when you're looking at this, the one thing you really need to think about is like, what's your problem? Like, not saying like personally, but your problem within the business. And the problem is going to be either I have too much money and I don't have enough deals, so what do? I maybe get leads, or I buy or get a VA, cool. Or I have too many deals coming in and I don't have enough money. And when you get that problem, well, you have too many deals and I can't buy them. So either you get more money, or you look at how old your stock is and clear some down to get the cash out to reinvest in better deals. That's it, really. They're the two kind of ways I'd look at it. So I don't really know if you're doing anything different. I think you're fine. Yeah, no problem there. AJ, I just had an email saying refund initiated, where do I find? AJ, I think you've asked that already, so I'm not going to answer that. It should do that. You can search for it. Is there a minimum I can invest to start selling in deals through the USA? Let's say between... if you're going to ask me, I'd probably say you want a minimum of about... I'd probably say $5,000. You can start with less, of course you can. Like, there are going to be people who start with like $100 and made it work. But if you ask me, like, you've got to buy stuff, ship it in, sell it. It takes longer in the US. It's a big country, so I think for you we've just got to be. I'd probably say about $5,000. You could do it 1,000, but I'd probably say you want about $5,000 to start selling. Like, this is a trading business, and I'd be silly to say, yes, you can do this. Come on, everyone. If you've only got $500, start selling on Amazon. Like, most of the time, the costs are going to eat into any profits you're making, and you're just not going to be growing a business. You're going to be either maintaining it or losing money because the costs eat so much of your profits. So, if I had to be honest, 5,000 is probably where I want to start. Which might sound like a lot, but again, it might be the case that you start with 1,000 and then you have another 4,000 on credit card. That once I'm happy with the 1,000, and I'm not looking to make profit off the 1,000, but once I understand that I can run a business and like break even, but I understand how to make money, then I can go put the other 4,000 in. Now that turns into 5. I hope that makes sense. Norman, hello, I'm a VA and I offer services wholesale FBA in the USA market. Currently, the lacking is getting brand approvals because of brand subjects. Okay, cool. Cool, same question. Cool. Glad you offer services. Cool, good for you. Fantastic. Good. Right, no questions there, so I'm going to move on. Do you recommend sticking to tactical arbitrage in the beginning, or they have a budget of 2,000? What is the advice strategy to scale from there? I actually don't advise. Like, I'm not saying I don't advise. I don't use tactical arbitrage. It's not my place. Lots of people do. They're successful. They work. Obviously, tactical arbitrage is quite a lot of people use that software. I don't. I've never used it. All the big sellers, like big sellers, don't use any software for like sourcing. My advice, or my thoughts behind it are, and I did an interview with Gavin Sweeney, and I think he hit the nail on the head, is that software can make you lazy. And actually, the real advantage is getting into the detail, and software can just make you lazy, like, next one, where it's like, oh, this is close. Okay, cool. Like, found a deal which is close. Okay, find a voucher code. Okay, yeah, get some cash back. Cool. Okay, what else? Maybe there's another way I can do it. Or maybe I can contact the supplier. Like, the real money in this comes from, it really comes from, should we say, understanding the business. And I think software can make you lazy. So personally, I wouldn't do that. If I've got 2,000, I'd keep trading it until you've got at least 4,000 spare in cash every week for like a good month, and then I'd hire a VA. That's it. I think VA is the way to do. They're building a team. 2, 3, 2, 1. Hey Thomas, hope you're well. I saw the recent video about documentation and account health. If I find a product that I can be sourced cheaper in the EU country than the UK, would Amazon accept an invoice from the EU supplier of the same product, even though they're not based in the UK? FBA seller above concerns pet cosmetic products. I don't know the answer. That's my honest opinion. I think second of all is I would go look at, you're probably going to get product authenticity complaints. You're probably, not saying you are, but basically, if you did buy this product and what you're looking at saying, I buy the product today, I sell it, and then one day an issue comes. So I'm saying, if that issue comes, what would the issue say? So it'd either be a product authenticity complaint, IP complaint, as in like intellectual property, or maybe like parallel distribution agreement or something like that. I would go look for examples of those three. I don't know off the top of my head. And the question I'd be asking is, when Amazon asks you to submit documentation, do they ask for an UK-based supplier? If they do, then you've got a problem. So that's the real question you're trying to ask. Yeah, that's the real question you're trying to ask. So I don't know the answer, sorry, but that's the way I'd approach it. I would go look at examples of the complaints and see what Amazon says in regards to what it's looking for from the invoices of the supplier you're buying from. And if the EU invoice matches all that, you're fine. Give it a go. Yeah, hope that makes sense. Joey, for your VAs that we can hire from your company, would it work for finding a few products a month to generate an extra 5K in gross? What would be the average cost for a 20-hour per week VA for a month? So for Fast Track FBA VA Academy, we don't do part-time, we only do full-time VAs. So it'd have to be 40 hours a week. Generally speaking, if you're going to do UK, it works out at £400, $500 a month on average, or pretty much where it is. And after about 3 months, because it takes a while for them to get up, they should be generating you an additional £1,200 gross extra per month from the products. That's after 3 months. But let's be clear, hiring a team member is not like you hire them today, tomorrow you make an extra 1,300. You take 1,300 after 3 months, and then month 4, month 5, month 6, it continues to grow. So the real value is like 6 months, 1 year down the line, not within the first few months. So hence why we're like, you really want to be doing full time. And hence why I'm saying, like, probably want a minimum of about 5K, 4K, 5K to invest in their stock, if not 10K. That's where you want to be. Yeah, and it's not really finding a few products, it's finding a lot. They need to invest, it takes time. You've got to pay their payroll and make profit. Hope that makes sense, Joey. If it doesn't, let me know in the comments down below. Or if it does, let me know in the comments down below. Graham, hi, is it possible or advisable to change the legal entity of an Amazon USA selling account from UK, USA to USLC once the business has been trading for a while? I don't know if it's possible. I don't think it would be. I don't think it is. I would speak to Seller Central. I don't know the answer. I looked through Seller Central forums, the US and the UK. It'll be like transfer of ownership of, like, you can't. The way you need to think about it is like your Amazon selling account is physically part of the entity which created it. So my Amazon selling account is part of the entity which, say for example, Fast Track FBA. So we're Fast Track FBA Limited, UK. So if I had an Amazon selling account, it would be part of that company. Now, if a US company buys the company, well, now another US LLC owns Fast Track FBA Limited. So the company still exists. It's only, I think, maybe if you did like a merger that happened. You'd have to ask Seller Central. So like, in theory, it could. The only exception whereby you can move accounts from like me to a limited company is because I'm now incorporating Tom Personal into Tom Limited. And Amazon will allow you to do that transition. So they have the function, but I think you need to speak to Seller Central. That'd be my advice. Right. Hi, Tom. Which accountant would you recommend for a new business? So if in the UK, we use e-commerce accountants. Just type in e-commerce accountants on Google. You can do fasttrackfba.com/tools. It'll show it there as well. A guy called Joe, I know him. He's really good, ex-Amazon seller. They know what their stuff. I've met loads of really successful Amazon sellers through them. So I like them. In the US, the course down below, fasttrackfba.com/start selling Amazon USA. Check that out. It shows us 4 accountants that I recommend looking at. The one thing which I'll say is accountants in the US are more expensive than the accountants in the UK. It does have a lot more cost. Just the nature of the marketplace, like they're not comparable. So, but I'd recommend the 4 there. There's a lot of accountants who don't know. I do think Amazon experience is important because Amazon is not an easy game to understand, and the fees and everything. So you want them to know what they're doing. Hope that makes sense. Ricardo Costa. Hi Tom. Hope you're well. With regards to a prep center, how long do you think an average prep center? Hola, it's okay. Sí, okay. Sí. The cleaner's coming in to do cleaning. So I'm in a hotel. Hi, Tom. I hope you're well. With regards to a prep center, how long do you think an average prep center takes to get into Amazon? So from point of purchase available to your storefront. Okay, you can't. So you can do from point of purchase to delivery into Amazon. But whether it's live on your storefront is depending on Amazon, and they like to move stock around. So just be careful of that. In the UK, I like to think we have a really good prep center. And I think from purchase to ship can be 7 days. So, we buy it from Argos, ship to the prep center in 7 days. We're out again on average. That's what we're looking at. In the US, it's probably like double that because the ship times from the suppliers are a lot longer. It's a bigger country. And then in addition to that, everything just takes longer in Amazon. So stay there. I'll give you some stats from I have internal reporting. Let me just load it up. So inventory in the USA, this is in my business. So, okay, oh my God, it's changed a lot. So in the USA, average days from purchase to ship, 27. From buy to sell, average 72. So we hold it for about 30 days in the USA. In the UK, I'm just going to go through again. Average days from buy to ship, average 9.8. And from days from purchase to sell, average is 41. So it kind of gives you a bit of an idea. I think 20 days quicker in the UK versus the US, what we're seeing. I would probably say we're a bit more aggressive in the UK in regards to pricing, but that will have a big impact. But we don't really do buy to live because it's so varied on live. And also Amazon doesn't say, this product's now live, because half the time it's stuck in transit, shipping between Amazon's warehouses. Good question, though. I really like that. I think it's a really good question. Hope that makes it, Ricardo, if that makes sense, let me do it down below. Right, Michael, sorry if I'm saying that wrong. Hello, I'm doing drop shipping on Amazon. Can you suggest the cheapest way to ship? Oh, I don't do drop shipping. I can't suggest anything. I really don't. You'd have to work with your supplier, and I hope you're not drop shipping from retail stores. That is 100% against Amazon terms and conditions, because they're probably going to ship it with like the Walmart branded invoice or box. That's not good. So just be mindful, like that's not what you want. But you can drop ship from like distributors, wholesalers, manufacturers, as long as they don't put any branding on any of the documentation or anything. That's fine. And again, you'd have to speak to your suppliers and the best way to ship. There's this, hi AJ. AJ, cool. Never knew I changed my name. My questions are pretty basic. That is because, okay, cool. So you're replying back to someone up here, I'm assuming. I'm new to online arbitrage. When do I list my products on Amazon Central? Is it before I send the products in or after? Obviously, you've got to lift it before. You can't ship it in without listing. Just be very crystal clear. If you're doing the FBA program, if you list a product right now, it won't go live on the website, i.e. for the customer, until the products arrive in Amazon's warehouses. So for you is absolutely fine. Just shipping in, listing now, and like we pretty much list the moment we buy the product. So we check it. Can we sell it? Yes. And the moment we buy it, we create the listing on Amazon Seller Central with the correct SKU. So that's it. Ishak, in the UK, is it possible to switch from a partnership to an LTD while selling on Amazon? I assume so, because it's still a company, and the company might change its legal structure from a partnership to an LTD. But I speak to Seller Central. Like, I don't see why not, because it's still the same company. It's just changed entity type. Because all entity types are sole proprietorship, partnership, and LTD. Is their entity types. That's all you're doing. It's still the same company, just change out the entity. So I don't see why Amazon can't accommodate that. English with me, experiencing a good problem. Items selling so fast. Any advice on just more stock regarding cash flow? Two things. If it's selling too fast and you're running out of stock, you might want to increase the price, slow it down, supply and demand. Maybe you can get more profit per unit. Think about that. The other one is obviously just buy more stock. If you, in regards to cash flow, increase the price, make more profit. You want to optimize the the selling rate, so that all your money is invested, but you're never running out of sales. So to slow down sales, increase the price, make more profit. Thanks, Thomas. Just had a quick look at our generic parallel import claim. It states UK or EAE, so I hope it's okay. Yeah, so EAE, European Economic Area. And just define what that actually is, because it's different to European Union. So define the countries in it and make sure your supplier is within the EEA. And also on the invoice, it clearly states that. And the country, you can find another like Amazon document which says that country is in the EEA or something. Or it's like, so then you're fine. So yeah, good lad, that will help. Cherish Girl, can we use invoices of tactical arbitrage websites for wholesale purposes? Wholesale purposes don't mean anything. Like that for wholesale purposes, doesn't mean anything. If you're talking about like for getting ungated, generally no. Tactical arbitrage can do retail stores, products. You'll get retail store suppliers, and you won't be able to use them for ungating. You have to use wholesalers for ungating. Hope that makes sense. Ricardo, thanks for the help. Made a lot of sense. The Amazon fulfillment center transfer is incredibly unpredictable, unfortunately. Agreed. It's a nightmare, but it does happen. Guys, if you've got questions, drop it down below. We've got another 15 minutes. The cleaner's here, so she's working hard. Busy day. Monday's always a busy day. So let me know. Abdul Wali. Average time it takes to send a product from supplier to fulfillment center and then to Amazon till the FBA listings show online status. That was just answered a minute ago by Ricardo, or should I answer that? You can't define the online status. That's too variable. It's not. I never tracked that. I would do time from purchase to fulfillment center ships, and I would do time from purchase to sell, because that's the whole model. That's what you really want to know. But you can't do online. You could do time from purchase through to ship from your prep center and add on, like, call it 7 days as a default, and that would be your estimation of when it should be online. But per product, Amazon doesn't tell you, and there is no. I don't think there's a report which tells you that. If there is, let me know down below. But like, if there is, that'd be really interesting. But I don't think Amazon give us that information. They're not really interested in sharing it, nor do they trigger it. So you can't do that. Moses, guys, if you've got questions, drop me down below. Or I will just say, if you're liking the YouTube, give us a big thumbs up. Hey, I love a good thumbs up. If you're loving the live today, give us a thumbs up. If there's any other questions you want to ask, let me know. So let's carry on. When I registered to sell on Amazon, I noticed I was registered to sell in the EU marketplace, even though I'm a UK resident. Is there any downside? Yeah, you so what you do is while you register to sell on Amazon UK, that's your core marketplace, you're actually registered in a region. And a lot of the time, Amazon wants to try and encourage you to sell across globally. So you have what's known as the global selling program as well. Really easy to do. There are tax implications, so just be very careful about that. Speak to your accountant. I'm not a tax advisor. But I speak to your accountant, number one. But in regards to selling on the EU, let's be crystal clear. Now, I'm not a tax professional. You can do what's known as EFN, European Fulfillment Network from the UK, whereby you hold your stock in the UK and it will ship it to a customer once it's been sold within European Fulfillment Network. That's EFN. Generally, that doesn't have any huge tax implications in regards to European marketplaces, except when you have trading volumes or you're holding stock in the EU. That has now tax implications, and your trading volumes are too high. I now have to come VAT registered. I think in France it's 30,000 a year. So if you're just starting out, that's a good way to go. Again, speak to an accountant. The second one is called Pan-EU, which is where you physically hold stock in Germany or France, Italy, and Spain. And that does have tax implications, like you need to be VAT registered. So for you, just be very mindful of that. Again, speak to a tax advisor. Amazon is really good at getting you started selling on Amazon in the EU marketplaces, but don't feel like you need to do it all the time. It's not something. Or don't feel like you should just jump on it. I understand the implications of it. It's not Amazon's problem if you're not tax compliant. Amazon doesn't care. They just care about sales. It's your job to be tax compliant. But they will try and encourage it by asking for the right VAT numbers, etc. Graham, can I use the virtual office address of a UK LLC as my registered address in my Amazon Seller account, even if trading from home? I don't want to. Yeah, you can. Fine. My God, I use my virtual office address for my personal bank account. They still send me stuff. It's really funny. So yeah, you can do that. The short answer is yeah. 10 minutes, guys. 10 minutes. Get your final questions in below. If you're liking it, give me a big thumbs up. Let me know your questions down below. How do you begin FBA wholesaling? Wow, big question. Contact wholesalers, do that. 2 people I'd follow in the wholesale world. 3 actually. Let's put it that way. Amazon Lit, Watch Me at Amazon, and a guy called, oh my God, I've forgotten his name. I'm so bad. He's like the entrepreneur adventure. I've so forgotten his name. I've met him twice. He's down in California. He's in Florida. Todd Welch. Really liked him. We did a interview with Todd, does 4 million. Really good starting video. I liked it, so I watched that. Just get started, like how to find wholesalers, what to do. I really liked that. I think it's a good video, so watch that. I'd follow those guys. That's my only advice. That's what I can say. Sorry, I don't really do wholesale. I do. We've started doing it. Yeah, it's good. I'll give you an update on it once we're actually starting doing good volumes. We've done it for a couple of months now, but I'll give you an update. Amit, 1 second. Yeah, see? And then luego. I'm really good. So the cleaner had to open the door and close it, and then my girlfriend's over there on another call. So we didn't want the sound coming through. So I went like, and my Spanish is like nada. So sorry about that. Right, carry on. Does Seller Toolkit have small and light tab to click and calculate our FBA calculations easier? No, Seller Toolkit is profit and loss. So if it's been sold through a full and light program, it will calculate it correctly. What you're really trying to do is ask is does the calculator tool have small and light? And I think SAS Seller Amp, that's the tool that you're going to want that's going to help you do that. So check that out. That will help you there. That's the important one. So Seller Amp will be the one that helps with that, and that does have that functionality, I believe. Thomas Wade, 1 second. I'm just going to put it in there. I think it would be good to create a small and light video with Seller Amp, so I'll make a video on that. Hi, a question that is in the chat, but may have missed it at the start. Okay, I see your question coming down in a minute, so I'll answer it in a second. If I Me Too on the listing, which requires no invoice or brand authorization, is there any chance of an IP can? Yeah, 100%. Like, there can be brands which have never had any problem, 20 sellers the whole of the time, and then tomorrow the brand says, no, we don't want this anymore, issue IP complaint. That can happen. So there's always a chance, but you just got to be ready. It's unlikely, but there is always a chance. Past history does not predict future performance. So because there's never been an IP in the past, doesn't mean there will never be one in the future. That's that. So, but ideally, like, there should be rare. It should be rare, so you should be fine. Like, if you get one or two. Also, so IP complaints naturally clear down after 180 days. Don't worry. Like, as long as you're not playing stupid, it should be fine. Next on, Thomas Wade, what would be the normal average return on bringing VAs on board? So, good question. So, if I just talk about the VA Academy and the metrics we use, so we say after 3 months, so the end of month 3, what do we expect? Well, we want the VA to be finding enough deals that we're spending 1,333 per week on their deals. Why? Because at 30% ROI, now if we're spending 1,333 over a 4-week month is like 5,600. 5,600 spend at 30% ROI is going to equal £1,600 worth of gross profit minus £400 for the VA. They should be generating £1,200 worth of gross profit per month. That's at the end of month 3. Now that will continue to grow, and if we put it in perspective, my team pretty much on average make between, or should we say, up to about 10,000 a month, a week in purchases. So you can do the math on that. That's like £3,000 a week in gross profit. So it does add up, but that's like a year later. So when you're first starting out, 3 months, that's where you're kind of looking at, you should be making gross profit off your VA after their cost about 1,200. That's the measure we look at. Next one, Moses, right? Got 5 minutes. Let's get these 5 through. Do you have any affordable course for new USA sellers where I can learn how to get ungated and other stuff? Yeah, do look. Just go to fasttrackfba.com. On the very homepage, it has want to get started here. You can just put your email address, get started. We have a £10 upsell, which has got like some additionals in it. That's the only course that we have for like all new sellers. It's a free course, by the way. Get that. The upsell's £10. Check that out. If not, top right-hand corner, it has resources and it says like my free course. So download that. That's a cool one. That's going to get 7 days. It'll start you off. The cleaners having great fun. Open, close, open, close. Right, Lee. Regarding EFN, what do you have to take into account to compete with EFN European sellers? I think generally speaking, you've got longer delivery times. Yes, you are prime, but you're longer delivery times. So the only thing which would say is in a typical sale, you'll have the fees are referral fee, FBA fee, closing fee, and obviously cost of goods. But in EFN, you'll have referral fee, closing fee, and no FBA, but now it's called ENF fee. So it does increase. When you're doing, when you've got your calculator, they should have a function which just says you can flick it, and it will do your profit and loss based on EFN prices, not FBA prices. So all the calculators should do that now. Like SAS, FBA Multi-Tool, Buybot Pro, they'll do that. I know that for sure. That's the one thing you just really want to compete against. And you obviously you've got to be price competitive because your shipping times are longer from the UK to Germany, for example, versus someone who's in Germany already. So that's something to think about. Good question, though. Right, my God, questions coming in. Thank you so much. I'm just going to fire through them. I'm setting from the UK. Yeah, I hope that makes sense, Lee. Jerry, thank you for your answer. So a 10K investment for a full-time BA for 3 months to get to my 5K gross, if I understand correct. Would 5K in spend for inventory per month be enough? No, I don't think you're right. 10K investment would generate. So let's just do the math. The math I just talked about. We spent 1,333 spend per week. That means we're going to be spending 5,600 in the month. So investment is 5,600. Of that 5,600, we're going to be making gross revenues of 1,600 minus the 400 for the cost of EA, which will leave a net revenue of 1,200. So if we're just kind of talking like for a 10K, for a 5.6K investment, we're going to be making 1,600 gross, not after the cost of the VA. So if you're doing a 10K investment, roughly double, you're only going to make 3K gross. And then that's for 2 VAs, for example, so then you've got to take another 800 off it. So 3K gross minus 800, you're only actually going to be ending up in the 2,400 net, I think. Roughly, yeah, like 2,400 net. So, and the other one you've got to realize is that's like in a typical month, but let's just be very crystal clear. You buy a product today, it probably takes 2 weeks before it gets shipped in live on Amazon. It holds for a month, and then it might then it takes another 2 weeks to get the money back. So total time from buy to get money back is 2 months. So when we talk about a 5K investment per month, you need twice that because it takes 2 months to cycle the money. So your 10K investment would only be enough for one VA running at 5,600. So you put 10K in and you generate 1,000 because you're only going to be able to use half of it. It takes 5K every month, so you're only using half of it. So 10K investment is going to generate you 1,200 gross net profit per month. I hope that makes sense. It's a little bit complex, but it's not too complex. But I think that's the important thing to understand. Right, 2 minutes, let's go. English to me, I had a customer complaint in the UK marketplace. My account has been deactivated for a while, trying to get it back. I've just realized I could be P&L, not the brand, despite it's ungated. Any advice? Yeah, even if you're ungated, doesn't mean you should sell it. Ungating doesn't mean that you're not going to get complaints. I would go to fasttrackfba.com/Jeff. Is the guy we use for complaints, and I would just speak to him. You can have a free consultation call, I think it is, and he'll be able to help you with this. He'll be able to help you with this, if that makes sense. Like, tell you if he can help or not. So it could be the P&L, it could be that problem. So I don't know the answer. Speak to Jeff. Yeah. Ricardo Costa, I've been reading forums about some accounts being shut down when trying to incorporate. Have you any negative or positive? I've got two companies on incorporation, and we've never had any problems. I think a lot of people are trying to create Amazon accounts whereby they're not doing it properly, and as a result, they've been shut down. That's fine, but I never went through any problems at all, so I have no reason to believe there's an issue. Yeah, I don't have any problem. Interestingly, on he's on Facebook. Yeah, he is. Yeah, you can speak to him. Yeah, he's on Facebook. Just a busy guy. Right, that's pretty much it on the hour. I just want to say to everyone, thank you so much for joining. If you've liked it, give me a big thumbs up. And hey guys, thank you so much for your questions. Like, I appreciate this. I do lots of videos. I've got 2 video ideas today, so thank you so much. But I think in addition to that, obviously where you are, your businesses. The one thing I will say is obviously a lot of questions today about USA. That's great. If you are thinking about getting started on USA, have a look down in the description below. You'll see a link to fasttrackfba.com/start selling Amazon USA. That course that we created, it's only £99, and it literally talks you through everything we've done, how we've incorporated, and why we've done it. Gives you all the accountants, the prep centers, everything else. It's really good. We've had some really great feedback. Everyone who gave feedback is between, would you recommend it to a friend, 9 or 10 out of 10. Like, it's really, really good. So do check it out. Also as well, do a 30-day free refund on it if you have any problems, or no questions asked refund. So do check that out. One final one I'll just do. Do you do any private coaching? I do, but I wouldn't really recommend me. I charge too much. Just looking for someone to keep my business. I once over, currently doing 20K per month. I only started with Replenishables. My coaching is about £250 for an hour. So I can do it, fasttrackfba.com/coaching. But it's not something that I really do. There's some other good people out there. That's what I'd probably say. I think to find the question like what your problem is and where you want to go. That's all I'd say. But yeah, guys, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for all your questions. Thank you for everything. Been a real pleasure. Stay safe. Keep smashing the week. Take care. Bye-bye.